In this set of activities for this week, we're gonna practice some AutoCAD architectural skills. Um, Many of you have seen most of these. Some of you have seen none of these, and that's okay. If you've seen them all already, it's just good practice. If you haven't seen them yet, this is a great introduction. You will see them over and over and over again throughout our program. And so the goal here is to look at the types of things that an entry level CAD operator would be doing. And a lot of those have to do with standards. So it's very common for an architectural firm or an architect to get a drawing from a colleague, a client, a contractor, and then need to do something with that drawing. And of course, if the standards from the client don't meet or aren't the same as the standards of the office or the company, it's very hard to get that work done effectively and efficiently. So one of the first things that gets done are that standards get adjusted. Units get adjusted. Some places work in decimal inches, some in decimal feet, some in architectural inches, all sorts of different things depending on what their main job is. So units need to get checked. Layering conventions need to get checked. Dim styles need to get modified and checked. And then a big one is the use of model space and paper space in the architectural industry. Some places put everything in model space. Some places put a lot of stuff in paper space. And being able to work between those two is important. So you'll get some work with that to see how that's done. And then I've taken, so what you're going to get is a floor plan that's made by the client. And then you're going to create a floor plan that meets the standards of the company that you're working for. You'll then create a space plan, a roof plan, and a site plan from those, all meeting your company's, of course, that they're standards I've made up. They're just standards that we're going to use for this exercise. Okay, so that's the first thing that happens. Somebody takes that file, makes a copy. You make a copy of it. You usually don't have access to change the client's file or your colleague's file or a contractor's file. So you make your own copy of it and adjust the standards. And then one thing that happens a lot is that when your floor plan is done, modified, changed, fixed, whatever, there's something called layout to model. And that's how people often work between paper space and model space. Now, it's real interesting. Almost every software package out there that's CAD will read an AutoCAD file, and you can actually import the AutoCAD file into your Chief Architect, SketchUp, Revit, Bentley, everything out there. Okay. However, very few of them work with layouts, information on layouts. So if you feel you have some information in your layout and you're going to share it, there's a tool called Layout to Model. And so you're going to get to practice that. So you'll have adjusted your floor plan, and now you're going to set that floor plan up in a whole new file, Layout to Model, that can be imported or exported anywhere. Okay. Once you've got that, we're going to do some work with blocks. All of you have had some practice with blocks. We'll look at blocks and W blocks. And then a cool thing called dynamic blocks. And these are all to make life faster, more efficient, more effective. That's what all of this is all about. All of these skills are there to make your design work go faster and be more consistent and repetitively correct by design. And blocks are often ways that you do that. And dynamic blocks are ones that you have some control over once you put it into your file. So we'll just do a little bit with that to give you the touch and to be able to touch them and play with them just a little bit. So we've got the layout to model tool. We've got blocks and dynamic blocks. These are all things that make our work more effective and more efficient. And then another tool is freeze in current viewport. So often, if you've got a file that has a ton of stuff in the model space and you want to see just part of it, we use layers to separate like items so that we can turn them on and off, but only in that one viewport, not everywhere. So this is a great tool. So in this case, you're going to use your space plan to create a roof plan and then freeze in current viewport so that they're good, well done, standard spaced drawings. Okay, so these are all tools, right? Units, layers, dim styles, model space, paper space, those are tools to make our work flow better. We've got saving as a new file, and then we've got layout to model. Those are two tools. We have blocks, W blocks, and dynamic blocks that help us be more consistent and repetitive in our work. And we've got freeze in current viewport. The last thing that we do is architects often need to work with civil engineers and even planners and things like that. And so an architect will often work with the site plan. The architect might even be in charge of the site plan. And so we're going to use degrees, minutes, and seconds as our angles in a site plan. We could also use surveyor's units, but we're going to actually tell you the truth. I think we've got it set up to do surveyor's units. So I'll take a look at that. But we're going to use like north 45 degrees east. And then there's one last tool that's pretty commonly used throughout industry. It's the wipeout command. And it just lets you wipe out, draw over the top of a little space and kind of make a spot where you can write text. So those are the CAD skills that we're going to look at. And I said for many of you, this will be a second or third time that you've looked at some of these commands and tools. And for some of you, it'll be the first time. But you'll get lots of practice throughout our program. And so there we go. So those are the architectural CAD skills that we're going to work on in this 1 week's worth of work. Okay, so we've got 2 hours of lecture, 4 hours of lab. I will have a bunch of demos made for you, so I can suggest that you, on Monday through Thursday, give it a try. See what's up. See how it's working. See if you can get some of it done by following the videos that I'm going to give you. And then when you get to lab, it really truly will be just helping out those that still have some questions left. And there will be. There's no way that one of my demos can fully get across everything that you're going to need, but you'll have had a good shot at it and a good start. So there we go. That is your sort of overview of the architectural CAD skills for week 2.